Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. I want us to go to a tweet that Dr. BONI KHALWALE shared in his X handle, that is Kakamega Senator. He tweeted something about a post which is purported to have come from a statement that was originated from DUALE. And DUALE's statement was reacting to the promise that William Ruto made about the voter ID verification, or that vetting process, which Ruto had said was going to be lifted. So, to cut the long story short, this is what BONI KHALWALE said. Cabinet must strictly reject this dangerous proposition. So in his X, he shared a posting from kenyas.co.ke. And this is what the posting says. We will issue over 3 million refugees in DADAAB and Kakuma with identity cards and absorb them as Kenyans. Let them participate in elections and key decision making in the country they live in. The US allows immigrants to vote. That is what is believed, though I've seen other postings somewhere, people trying to term this as fake. But at the end of this analysis, you will just react whether you think this posting is fake. But BONI KHALWALE has shared it. Now, this talks about 3 million refugees being issued with identity cards. 3 million. Now, perhaps you're wondering why the timing, why this statement, why is BONI KHALWALE sharing this statement. He shared it on the 15th of March. You know, that was after SK Macharia had released a bombshell about the 1.8 million votes. Now, take a look at the maths. Because in our previous analysis, we talked about what that statement from SK Macharia is going to do to either William Ruto or Rigathi Gachagua. Let's assume Rigathi Gachagua is going to capitalize on SK Macharia's, what SK Macharia talked about, the 1.8 million. And then we are confronted with another reality from DUALE that 3 million refugees will be given ID cards. Of course, we all know that if this is true, and then the 3 million refugees that this tweet is talking about is true again, and then they are issued with votes, I mean, with ID cards, and then they subsequently registered as voters. You know, 3 million is a huge number that can tilt, you know, the dynamics, that can always change the dynamics anytime. If this happens, it means the northeastern region will always be a determining factor. 1.8 million. But before we get further on this, ladies and gentlemen, kindly like this video. It is so important if you like this video, because that is the only way YouTube shares our content. Subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed before, and to existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. 3 million against 1.8 million. I want to assume that DUALE is talking about votes that will be channeled to William Ruto, 3 million. And then I want to assume that SK Macharia talked about 1.8 million, which Rigathi Gachagua was sure of taking advantage on. Those fake votes. That makes the number of Mount Kenya due in terms of vote turnout, 1.8 million extra. So if we are confronted with another scenario of 3 million extra, you know, despite the fact that the number of refugees in DADAAB and Kakuma cannot, I don't think it can be 3 million. Let's assume this message from DUALE is not fake. And we all know that could explain why William Ruto had a tour of that northeastern region. He knew what he was doing there. He knew that for him to counter the plan of Rigathi Gachagua, he had to do it. He had to lift that vetting of you know, people within the borders. He had to do it. He knew that he needed it so that he can win the people of northeastern region. He also knew very well that people like Kalonzo Musyoka cannot campaign there, because that place is, you know, security of that place, sio nzuri. I'm not seeing a scenario where Kalonzo Musyoka is going to go to Garissa, maybe Mandera, those areas to campaign. You need a huge security. If you look at William Ruto, when he was campaigning, kulikuwa na a lot of, in fact, even the deputy IG had to go there. There was a lot of security there. You can't just go there and campaign and decampaign William Ruto's message of ID and say that you don't support it. You know, that place is going to stand very chaotic, and it's not going to be easy to contain the pressure that might come from the region. Leave alone that video that surfaced about banners being removed and people shouting, Ruto must go. The refugees, if they are given votes now, they are given IDs and are acknowledged and are recognized as Kenyan citizens, they will rally their support behind William Ruto. That is something that we are sure about. So that is what Aden Duale seems to be planning. His plan is on how to counter that. Regarding Gachago's plan, by making sure that he infiltrates votes in that region when voters wengi sana, hata wengine maybe hawako. We know that the number in this refugees camp cannot reach 1 million. So the big question is, where are the 2 million coming from? If at all this posting is true, that would mean we are confronted with another scenario similar to what SK Macharia told us. SK told us about 1.8. If 3 million voters, if 3 million refugees are going to be awarded with votes, IDs and votes, it means there are 2 point something million in, again, votes ambazo zitakuwa zimeongezeka. If at all SK Macharia told us the truth. So we know that cleaning the IEBC register might be kazi ngumu sana. Yeah. And SK Macharia said it's upon Ruto to make sure that that cleaning of the database is done. So let's assume that cleaning is not done. Ruto wants to make sure that 3 million votes zinaongezeka pale. Zikishaongezeka, even if that 1.8 million still bado hiko, but 3 million zake zimekuja, you know, the number going by the difference between 1.8 and 3 million, napata tayari Ruto has an upper hand. So then he will bank on other votes ambayo atapata to top up on that 3 million. Assuming the 3 million, all of them vote. So what is happening, ladies and gentlemen? I'm assuming this post ni ukweli, because I've seen other places people talk about the numbers not tallying. Like someone by the name Amakanji Thomas said, these are posters made and circulated by Gachagua bloggers who see, we see, know them. Okay, that's what he said. And then there's someone, Joseph Master, who says, Senator, these are fake posters made by bloggers allied to Gachagua to circulate around and sow seeds of discord and division. Don't fall for it. If CS Duale was to say that, you would have heard him say so. Okay. Aliaden says, first, do we have 3 million refugees in Kenya? Leave it alone in DADAAB. The entire northeastern population is less than 3 million. The entire. Okay. Well, then someone by the name Jeff Osimba says, the immigrants don't vote in USA. If only the USA citizens that are allowed to vote. This nonsense should not be allowed to sell. As a leadership of Senate, these are matters that must occupy your business. Hapana leta hii mchezo X. Do your damn job. Impeachment of this moron must start now. Okay. Let me take you through the last two. Abuga Makori EGHMBE says, fake news. Nyambasa Danva says, these unpatriotic Somali leaders must be reminded that we are a future to protect, not massaging the greedy Ruto's ego. Mujaruf says, they had resorted to calling this fake news after an outcry. Thanks for confirming its authenticity. Okay. So let me just leave the reactions there. But the bottom line here is that if this posting is not fake news, then this is going to be a strategy that Ruto is going to use to counter the 1.8 million that you were told by SK Macharia, the 1.8 million dead votes, votes which were inflated from the death register, the 1.8 million. So, ladies and gentlemen, just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about this explosive statement from BONI. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.